All right, so now that we've covered our intermolecular forces, let's take a look at our phase changes, right? So we've got our three most common phases are solid, liquids, and gases. And of course, they can change from one to the other, and each one of these gets a special name. Most of them that you already know, right? From solid to liquid, that's generally called melting. Sometimes you'll also see it referred to as fusion. We'll see, as we saw, like heat of fusion earlier. From liquid to gas, it's called boiling. Or another term you can use is vaporization. And then, of course, we can go in the opposite direction from gas to liquid. That's condensation. And then from liquid to solid is freezing. And then we can actually have phase transitions without this liquid intermediate, right? So we can go straight from a solid to a gas. That's called sublimation. So if you ever seen like dry ice, this is what dry ice does. It's solid carbon dioxide, and it goes from being a solid to being a gas with no liquid intermediate. They use it for like Halloween to like make, the witch's brew and that kind of stuff. And then finally, from a gas to a solid, that's called deposition. Which is a very important process in the manufacturing of computer chips. So, it's a very relevant thing today as there's quite a shortage of those. So there's our phase transitions. And then remember, when we go from left to right, when we go from a solid to a gas, the phases are increasing in energy, right? Because we're spending that energy to break those intermolecular forces. And so that's an endothermic process. So that means that the delta H is positive and that we absorb energy. And of course, then the opposite is true. When we're going from a gas to a solid, this one's a little bit harder to picture, but this is indeed an exothermic process. Delta H here is negative, and then this, of course, releases energy.